Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Episode 2 of the Montreal Canadiens franchise mode is here in NHL 20. So in the previous episode, it's more of an introductory episode. We went through all the players, our lines, we went through our trading block that we have and simmed up the first month of the year, the month of October, where we had a decent month, ended up 8-5. We are sitting currently tied for second in the division behind the Maple Leafs. We're a point ahead. Gallagher does have 10 points in 13 games. I actually forgot to do one small little change here. I actually changed Jesperi Kotkaniemi to his number 15. For some reason in the game, he was number 45, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is his number in the AHL in real life currently, so it made sense. But I changed it again to number 15. So in this episode, we're going to sim up a few months. Maybe sim up the entire year depending how things go, but I want to go at least till the trade deadline. I do have a few pieces that I could potentially move. I want to try to move Carl Alster if I can. Maybe Paul Byron, just free up some cap space. If the team is continuing to win, maybe we can make a push for the playoffs. If we see we're losing a lot of games, you might want to try to get a good draft pick. So in this episode, like I said, we're going to do a lot of simulation. So what we're going to do to start off, we're going to slow sim the game against the Boston Bruins. The division rival is always a big game against the Bruins. Firstly, we got to play in Dallas where we lose 1-0, a shootout loss. So there we get offered a couple of picks in Belmar for Ilanin and Udon, which are good AHL players. So I'm going to say no to that trade. So what I'm going to do, simulate the game, slow sim the Bruins game. They are 6-2, so we're at 500, and hopefully we can get a few wins against the Bruins. We are playing them 3 times up to the start of the next month. Those are important points against Boston. Period number 1, Ryan Poehling starts us off with an early goal on Tuukka Rask. After the end of the first, they tied. Heinen scores. We actually played Kincaid in this game after 2-2. So Thomas Tatar and Charlie Coyle. Let's simulate the third period. Let's see if Kincaid or backup can get us a win. Only 14 minutes left. It's still a tie game, and David Pastrnak does what David Pastrnak does best: score goals, over 40 goals in real life, having himself quite the year. And Miller scores. That's a 4-2 loss against the Boston Bruins, which I'm not entirely sure why Kincaid was starting, because it was not a back-to-back, and Carey Price is clearly our starting goaltender. So I'm going to have to go over to the lines and change that, because we don't want Kincaid to have starting minutes for sure. I'm going to go ahead in goaltenders, and there you go. Price is there. I guess he was just having a day off. Maybe had a cold. Who knows? Let's simulate a few more weeks up to the other Boston game. I'm going to hopefully get at least a couple of points versus the Bruins in this month. So we get offered a pretty bad deal by the Blackhawks. They want Kovalchuk and Thompson. They want to give us a second, and Brent Seabrook is making $6.8 million for the next 5 years. Being a team that I want to free up some cap space, I'm going to say no. We beat the Flyers and the Kings as we actually get offered Alec Martinez for Thomas Tatar, but I'm going to say no for now. I mean, Martinez would be a pretty good defenseman, but if Tatar plays really well this year, we could, if we don't resign him, I think we could maybe get a little bit more. So I'm going to say no to the Kings offer. Right after we beat them 2-1. Playing against the Blue Jackets 3-2. That's 3 wins in a row. A back-to-back versus the Capitals and Devils. Big win against the Cats, but a shootout loss against the Devils. If you guys remember, that Washington game, that's the game where Drouin and Byron got hurt. And right after that, it went all downhill for the Habs in real life. Drouin just came back. Byron's supposed to be back tonight, which is actually February 18th, the time that I'm recording this. So we beat the Blue Jackets in the shootout, playing against the Ottawa Senators, and 4-3 OT win. So back-to-back games where we win in extra time. And that is a lot of games with a point in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight games with a point. The boys are playing really well. 14, 6, and 3. I'm going to be simming a bit quicker moving forward the next few months, but I want to slow sim this Boston game. After 1-0, Jeff Petrie. Now it's Boston's turn to play with their backup. Yaroslav Halak playing his former team after 2-1. Krejci and of course David Pastrnak, because why wouldn't he score? He's a absolute machine. Power play. Both the power plays of the Bruins and ourselves are killed. We get another power play. Come on, Shea Weber from the point. No, he's not going to get a goal. Less than 6 minutes to go, and Nordstrom scores. And then Debra scores an empty netter. Oh, man, we lose both game against the Bruin this month. We lose both games against the Bruins this month. That's pretty tough right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to sim up a few more weeks. I'm going to sim up to the start of January, see how the team is doing. As we actually lose 1-0 against the Devils, so only 1 goal in 2 games. We lose 4-3, so 3 losses in a row at least against the Bruins. So we lose the 3 games against the Bruins. We lose against the Islanders, the Avs, and the Rangers, as we get offered Sami Niku, who is on a good contract, but of course it's his entry-level contract. They want Kovalchuk and Xavier Ouellet. They will give us a couple of picks. So Kovalchuk has 20 points in 30 games, which is not bad. Niku, though, he's already 23. He's only a 76 overall. I think our defensive prospects are much better than that. So, all right, so we get a trade here for Cal Fleury. Couple of picks, Johnny Boychuk, which I really don't want to take over that contract. And we would actually be over the salary cap limit, so I don't know why the AI even offered us this trade. That really makes no sense at all to pick up almost 12 million. Actually, yeah, 11.5 million in cap space. That just doesn't make any sense at all. We beat the Penguins and the Senators as Wilson goes to the Bruins. The Avalanche get David Backes as well as a prospect, it looks like. There you go. First trade of the season. We get offered a lot of second rounders from what I've been seeing so far. We beat the Red Wings. That's 3 wins in a row. 4 in a row against the Canucks. 5 against the Flames. Can we make it 6 against Connor McDavid? We can. 6 wins in a row. The Winnipeg Jets have fired their head coach. So Winnipeg not doing too good. As we get offered a first and a second, as well as Steen for Nick Suzuki and Nick Cousins. So the Bruins, they are very good. They're listed as a champion, so it's definitely going to be a late first round pick. It's not worth giving up Suzuki, so I'm going to say no once again to that trade. We lose in the shootout against the Winnipeg Jets there. So we are at 20, 12, and 5. Pretty good record. We're actually right in the middle of the pack in the Atlantic. A 6-2 win against the Hurricanes. What I'm going to do, we're going to sim up just before the All-Star break. And I'm going to see just how the team is doing, what the points are looking like. Maybe I need to make a couple of line changes. As the Lightning beat us 6-3. Vlasic, I don't want a defenseman that's older at $7 million for 7 more years. A lot of these trades look like cap dumps. As we score a touchdown against the Jets, there you go, 7-4. We win a couple, we lose a couple. We don't seem to be really going on big streaks. It kind of comes in waves. As we are offered a couple of prospects in the 5th for Udon. I'm going to say no to that. Big win against the Flames. Back-to-back from the Blackhawks and the Flyers, as we get offered a first and Kevin Hayes for Brendan Gallagher. Flyers are a very good team, so it's really not worth getting a player that's lower rated than Gallagher. And Gallagher is making only $3.7 million. Hayes is making 7 for the next 7 years, and Gallagher has 39 points in 49 games. So these trades really don't make any sense for us, as we lose 7-2 against the Flyers, 3-1 win against the Vegas Golden Knights. So it looks like we're kind of like a bubble team. We're not bad, we're not great, we're just right in the middle. Jonathan Drouin is having a good year, 42 points in 50 games. That's a fantastic year. Hopefully he can grow at the end of the season, because he does have that medium elite potential. Gallagher already has 20 goals. Kovalchuk has 37. Domi has 37 points. He's up. He's an 85 overall. So Tatar, 34. Weber having a pretty good year. He is still an 88, which I like to see. Kotkaniemi up to an 85 overall. Jesperi Kotkaniemi grew 5 overalls on the third line in a few months. Now, That is what I'm most happy about right now. All right, let's see if Nick Suzuki grew at all. He's still in 80. We're going to have to make a couple of changes for sure. Move up Kakaniemi a few spots. Definitely might be on the second line the way he's going. Carey Price, 20, 13, 4, 3 shutouts, 19 save percentage, 2.50 goals against. So honestly, some pretty good numbers for Price. May want to look at a better backup than Kincaid, only 6 and 6. Charlie Lindgren playing well in the AHL. Caden Primo has been struggling a bit. Gonna take a quick look at Caulfield and Romanov. Look at that. Cole Caulfield tearing it up. 44 points, 24 goals already. Romanov has 31 points in 41 games as a defenseman. I'm excited for next year for sure. Now, as a team, Laval isn't doing too great. They're actually third last in the division. The Comets are pretty bad, only 27 points so far. Taking a quick look at standings, the Hurricanes are first in the Metro by 7 points. The Coyotes are dominating in the Pacific, 30 wins. The Stars have 30 wins as well. Looks like the first place teams are way ahead of everybody. The Maple Leafs and the Lightning, 71 and 70 points. Wow. Maple Leafs and the Lightning may battle for the President's Trophy. They both have 33 wins so far. We are actually listed as a contender, which is interesting, but Jesperi Kotkaniemi, he's definitely going to make the jump. I wonder if I put him on the first line, he's listed as a second line forward, but he does have that elite potential, so he could grow even more. I honestly think he's ready for a first line. It gives the second line a +3 as well. So Kovalchuk would be an 86, Domi an 88, and Thomas Tatar an 88, who is actually involved in a lot of rumors of trades right now. Is the time you're watching the video, trade deadline is coming in the next week. So definitely this team in real life could look a lot different in a week from now. I think this third line is good. Lekanen, Danu Armia. Then we have Paling, Suzuki, and Byron. I don't know if I want to move Suzuki up to the second line just yet, although he would have a +1, making him an 81 overall. We could move Paling to center, Armia on the fourth line, which would, let's see if I move Armia here. You know what? I think I'm going to keep it like this. It balances the lines a lot because Armia is a pretty good player. He would help out the fourth line. Third line is really good, and it's going to help Suzuki grow because he's actually listed as a third line forward. This line has a +3, and of course, Kotkaniemi, Gallagher, and Drouin. You love to see it. Defense, I do still have Kolak at the first pair just because it gives a +3 chemistry with Shea Weber. I don't want to move any of these guys around because it's going to give minuses. So I think I'm okay with that. And obviously, Carey Price in net. I've got to move him at the starter position. I think the AI sometimes automatically gives the starter a break. So we want to make sure that Carey Price is the starting goaltender. So having said all of that, I'm going to sim up to the Washington game, which is going to be our next game right after the All-Star game, which I kind of wish it was like an All-Star feature where you could see if your players made the All-Star game. That would be pretty cool to have in game. You could see, let's say, for example, Carey Price would have made the All-Star game, who won, if it was the Atlantic, Metro, Central, or Pacific. I think that'd be a pretty cool addition to franchise mode. There's a lot of stuff they could implement in this mode, which is already fantastic. Really, even the upgrades of the coaches and the line chemistry from last year, that was huge. And I really, really enjoy franchise mode. They always seem to improve the game, and that's great to see. So Drouin leading the way, 42 points in 50 games, only 13 goals. He loves to pass the puck. We actually have a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs here at the start of the month. Cole Caulfield, no thank you. He's not going anywhere. 7-2 win against the Capitals with Kotkaniemi on the first line. I'm actually going to go take a quick look. That's 3 wins in a row. I'm going to take a quick look if Kotkaniemi had a big night against the Washington Capitals there. So it looks like the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Senators 7-0. Wow. All right, let's take a look if you have any notes on that Washington game. It was before the Buffalo game. So Ilya Kovalchuk had a hat trick against the Washington Capitals. There you go. Ilya Kovalchuk. Max Domi had 4 points. What a great game for the boys. At this point, I don't know if we'll catch the Maple Leafs or the Lightning. They're just so much better than everybody else. But it would be great to finish in a playoff spot and actually compete in the playoffs in year one. That would be really nice as we beat the Blue Jackets 5-2. The boys are on fire as we lose against the Devils. Pretty big trade here. Kevin Hayes and a prospect to Minnesota for Mikko Koivu. Moving teams going to the Philadelphia Flyers along with JT Brown. A couple of prospects or a prospect Timashov and a fourth to Chicago for Eric Gustafsson. Oh my goodness, the Toronto Maple Leafs are just loading up. Their defense is stacked. They have Riley, they have Muzzin, they have Barry, and now they have Eric Gustafsson. Look out for the Maple Leafs in this year. Wow. As we play them on a Saturday. What great timing, eh? They get Eric Gustafsson, then they head into town, playing in Montreal on Saturday night. This is actually the game where the Habs won in overtime, and Kovalchuk scored a winning goal in real life. Tatar scores on Anderson, power play goal. I believe that was the first shot of the game as well after one. Aberg and Mitch Marner score. Marner, Matthews, Tavares are always dangerous. Period number 2, 3-1. Alexander Kerfoot scores on Carey Price. They are out shooting us. I mean, Morgan Riley scores against Carey Price. Jonathan Drouin Anderson scores, but I mean, so far in this season, the Leafs are better than the Habs. They're battling with Lightning for first in the division. Can we make a last-minute push? We cannot. We seem to be losing all of our games against the Bruins and the Maple Leafs, so it's not good we're losing against our division rivals. We're actually 1 point ahead of the Boston Bruins. I'm going to sim up all the way to the trade deadline. A lot of trade offers coming in as we get a big offer from the Maple Leafs. Lilia Green a first and Janssen, but we would have to give up Cole Caulfield, which I do not want to give at all. We beat the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Stars, and a pretty big trade just went down. Ryan Strome a third and Di Giuseppe to the Jets for a first. Simon Niku, Kolikov, and Gabriel Book to the Rangers. So Josh Bailey and a prospect to Dallas, and the Islanders get Robertson a second and a third. All these trades here are doing will not improve our team as we beat the Senators 6-3. Man, the team is playing very well. 36-23-5 right now at the trade deadline. Drouin 55 points in 64 games. And looks like the Leafs and the Lightning already have over 90 points. That is insane. Let's look at the points. So Gallagher here, 28 goals. He's gonna reach 30. Tatar 52. Kovalchuk and Domi 50 points. Look at that. Weber 43. Kotkaniemi 41. He's up to an 86 overall. So he already went up by 6. Nick Suzuki still an 80. Ryan Paling, he's still 78. Man, Jesperi Kotkaniemi is definitely our first line center. You don't have to worry about that. So looks like, look at that, Maple Leafs and the Lightning, 95 and 93 points. They're over almost 20 points ahead of us. I found a good trade to help the team, guys. We're going to get rid of Carl Alster's $4.6 million contract for 3 more years in the AHL. I'm going to give up Jesse Ilanin, 64 overall at 20 years old, playing in junior. And I'm going to get Jonathan Dahlin, 22 years old, 66 overall. He's playing with the Barracuda, so he's playing the AHL with San Jose's affiliate right now. 10 points in 48 games, so he's still young. We're actually going to get a 5th and a 7th from the Sharks. So they're willing to take Carl Alster's contract. That's one thing off our bucket list that I wanted to get done. I used the find trade feature. So I took Alistair and Ilanin. I hit find trade, and it basically just showed me this trade, which I'm going to take. Couple of picks, a prospect for a prospect, and Carl Alistair's contract. Thank you, San Jose. We do not have to worry about Carl Alistair's contract anymore. So we're going to actually move up Jolson. I'm going to move Jolson to play in the first pairing. I'm going to have Fleury here in the second, so that gives a +1 to the top four. We're going to put Christian Folin back in the lineup and have Olesen and Ouellet on the bottom pairing. So there you go. All right, so honestly, I think that trading Carl Alistair might be the only move I make. I don't want to give away too much of the future, any draft picks or any prospects. So I think we're good to go to sim up to the end of the year. We're going to simulate just before the Chicago games so we can look at the last games of the year individually. As we actually win 7 in a row playing against the Hurricanes. I didn't even see if we won that one. Let's go take a look. 7-3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in a row, and we're playing the mighty Tampa Bay Lightning. We're 40, 23, and 5. So, I mean, I really don't want to make a move. The team is looking very good. We have a bit of cap space to work over the summer. Let's slow sim this game, see if we can win our 10th straight game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Period number 1, 12-5. We're out shooting them like crazy. And 1-0, Ryan Poehling, fourth liner, scores a big goal on Andrei Vasilevsky. We're out shooting them by over twice as much. This would be a crazy game if we can win. And Steven Stamkos, he is always good against the Habs. But Jonathan Drouin, first liner, Poehling on the fourth line, Drouin on the first, and Marco Scandella, Nick Suzuki. The boys have a huge third period. Former Montreal Canadien Marco Scandella, he got traded to the Blues today. And Shea Weber, just for fun, gets an empty net goal. We beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Montreal Canadiens have won their 10th game in a row. The boys are on fire, 10-0 in our last 10, and Jonathan Drouin in 69 games has 59 points. Things you'll love to see. He's still an 85 overall, but I'm sure he's going to grow. Tatar has 58. Kovalchuk, 57 points at 36. Gallagher, 56. Domi, 52. Weber, 49. Kotkaniemi, 86 overall. Look at that. Nick Suzuki, 32 points. I hope that he's going to grow. Ryan Poehling at 20 points. I mean, those two guys could definitely grow over the summer. Maybe made a jump to the third line. Carey Price is having a fantastic year. 4 shutouts, 33, 16, and 4. All right, so I think we're ready to sim up to the end of the year. I'm really excited to see how long our winning streak can go. So right now, we are sitting at 10. Can we make it 11 against the Florida Panthers? On Saturday night in Florida, 11 in a row. Playing the Nashville Predators, and there is the first loss of that streak. 11 wins in a row. The Habs were unreal. We're actually sitting 4th in the division, really close to the Bruins. A couple of wins there against California teams. We lose against the Sharks, win against the Avs, playing the Sabres, lose 6-4. This is where it's going to count. 1-0 against the Panthers. We barely squeak in a win against Sergei Bobrovsky. We are actually only 1 point ahead of the Boston Bruins. Look at that. 99 points. We have 3 games remaining. We're sitting good for a playoff spot right now. See if we can make it 100 points against the Blackhawks. And Brendan Gallagher with 1 second. Brendan Gallagher right with 1 second left in the first period scores on Robin Leonard. Wow. A buzzer beater. 3-0 after 2. Brendan Gallagher and Jonathan Drouin both with power play goals. Can Gallagher get a hat trick? He cannot, but we score 346 shots, and Carey Price gets a shutout. That's 101 points on the year, 48, 27, and 5. What an unbelievable season for the Habs. Let's play the couple of last games remaining. Playing against Pekka Rinne and the Nashville Predators, and Craig Smith scores right away on Kincaid. Paul Byron's short-handed goal. That's what he loves to do. He is a penalty killing specialist. He flies on the ice and just steals the puck from Nashville and scores. Craig Smith scored literally inside the crease. Period number 2. Okay, that's still the first period. Period number 2, 3-3, a lot of goals. Kovalchuk, Domi on the power play, Yossi and Granlund. Let's see if we can close this one out. We need a big goal. They are shooting us. Kincaid is playing pretty good. We need a big third from our backup. We kill that penalty, and Nick Suzuki and then Ilya Kovalchuk scores right back. Suzuki and Kovalchuk 10 seconds apart on Pekka Rinne. They almost come back, Philip Forsberg, but Keith Kincaid stands tall, and we beat the Nashville Predators. 103 points on the year. One more game remaining, and it's against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Tampa Bay Lightning have 121 points. Wow. Almost at 60 wins. Looks like we're going to be playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in round number 1. That's going to be an intense series for sure. We are playing away, playing in Toronto, and after one, it is 2-1. Victor Mete and Philippe Danault. Good stick, Phil. Habs fans will get that reference. And Austin Matthews, as he usually does against the Habs, scores a goal on the power play against Carey Price. After 2, it is 5-2. Tatar, Drouin, Danault with his second of the night. Good stick, Phil. And Jason Spezza. Let's see if we can close this one out. We need a big third period. And yes, Betty Kotkaniemi, first line center, scores on Jack Campbell. We chase Frederik Andersen out of the game. This is a playoff matchup about to happen. So this is a little preview. And I really hope that the boys can play like this in the playoffs, because we just beat the Maple Leafs 6-2 on their home ice. We finished the year with 50 wins, 27 losses, 5 OT losses, and 105 points. To be completely honest, I was not expecting to pass 100 points, but I'll take it. Brendan Gallagher had 37 goals and 73 points in 82 games. Wow. Drouin 75, 29 goals. Kovalchuk 34 goals and 72 points. Tatar 71, Domi 65, Weber was a plus 13, 58 points. Kotkaniemi 57. Danault ended up with 20 goals. Suzuki 42, Armia 33, Petrie there, Lehkonen, Byron, Paling, Mite, Sherrod, Kulak, Scandella. Great years. Take a look at Carey Price's record. 40 wins on the dot with 7 shutouts, 960 save percentage, and a 251 goals against. Carey Price was back in his Vezina form. Now, what I'm going to do is take a look across the NHL before we end off the episode as to who are the league leaders. So, Connor McDavid, there you go, 112 points. His teammate Leon Draisaitl right behind with 103. Seguin, Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Rantanen, who unfortunately broke his collarbone in real life, which absolutely sucks. Wishing him a quick recovery, hopefully back in time for the playoffs. Patrice Bergeron, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Brad Marchand, Patrick Kane, Alexander Radulov, Nathan McKinnon, only 88 points, as well as Kucherov, which is a bit surprising. Pasternak only had, okay, what's going on with the game? David Pasternak had 18 goals and 70 assists. In real life, he has over 40 goals in February. EA, this is not realistic at all. Tavares there, Braden Point, Stamkos. I didn't even see Crosby yet. Barkov, Gaudreau, Kessel. Where is Sid the Kid? There he is. Only 77 points as a 93. That's very surprising. I mean, he only had 2 more points than Drouin. So looking at the goals, Tyler Seguin, 58 goals. He always seems well in this game. I mean, in my Atlantic Navigators franchise mode, he ended up in a 2-year span winning 9 individual awards. Just doesn't make any sense. Ovechkin 53, Draisaitl, Tavares, and Marchand. I'm going to take a quick look at defenseman here. It's probably going to be Erik Karlsson. No, it is John Klingberg, 71 points. Victor Hedman, a plus 46. Unreal. Edmund Larson there. Pietrangelo, Giordano, PK. There's EK, 65. Keith and Yossi. Taking a quick look at goaltenders. And Andre Vasilevsky, 47 wins and 10 shutouts. Yeah, I think he's getting the vest now. Anderson, then Carey Price. So just like the division, Tampa, Toronto, Montreal. Which makes sense. Rene, Hart, Gibson, Fleury, Bennington, and Rask. I'm going to take a look at rookie skaters, see how Kako and Hughes did. So Jack Hughes has 62 and Quinn Hughes, his brother, had 60. Look at that. The Hughes brothers dominating. Zadina, Nikash, Kako, Makar, Nick Suzuki, look at that, in top 10 rookie scoring. He's having a fantastic year in real life. Definitely might be in the Calder conversation if he picks it up. He's been playing very well. Taking a quick look here at rookie goalies. Nothing too crazy apart from Blackwood, 35 and 28, so decent year for a rookie. Although he did have quite a high goals against average. I want to take a look quickly at, as for the skaters, who had the most shots. So Ovechkin, 329 shots. Game-winning goal, Bergeron, Seguin, Tarasenko with 10 each. Power play goals, Seguin, Ovechkin, Malkin there. Power play points, Point, Matthews, and Kucherov. So that's your look around the league. Let's take a quick look at who won the President's Trophy. I do believe it's the Lightning. There you go. We were actually third in the entire NHL. So just like the goaltending stats, Vasilevsky, number 1, Anderson, then Price. So Tampa, Toronto, Montreal, top 3 in the Atlantic, top 3 in the league. Oilers, Stars had 100 each. Flyers, Bruins, and Hurricanes. Then you got the Preds, the Coyotes, the Senators made the playoffs, Islanders, Vegas, Flames, and the Anaheim Ducks. The St. Louis Blues made the playoffs with 86 points. Looks like the Central wasn't really strong. So we are playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in round number 1. That's going to be the next episode. It's going to be a good one, guys. I'm going to take a quick look before we head. And now before we end off the episode, just going to take a quick look at the AHL. We'll see how good Caulfield and Romanov did. So Cole Caulfield, 38 goals and 69 points. That is very nice. Cousins with 68. Romanov in 53 and a plus 22. Taking a quick look at goaltenders, what I'm really interested in. Lindgren had a very good year. Primo struggled a bit, but hopefully Primo will be better next year. It's going to be a year older. And Laval Rocket, looks like they're not in the season yet, but they're in a position to make the playoffs. So, next episode, guys, we are facing off against the Toronto Maple Leafs in round number 1. That's going to be a fun matchup. I would appreciate, guys, if you do leave a thumbs up below to show your support. Subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.